This video exists because a post that wasn't addressed towards me at all rage baited me. Now if you get anime or Invincible content on your feed, you probably came across statements like this. If Gohan went through half the stuff Mark did, he will turn beast in like 2 months. Or, if we are suffering scaling, then Mark had it worse than Gohan. Gohan's just happened at an early age. Or maybe, Gohan's childhood was far worse than Mark's, but from late teen onwards, Mark's life was hell on earth, while Gohan was relatively much better off. For some reason, DBZ and Invincible fandoms took a day off from power scaling, and decided to suffer scale instead. At first I was instantly pressed and thought it was crazy to think that Mark's pain even compares to Gohan's. But then some posts made me think. Not the ones that claimed that if we ignore Gohan's age, it is clearly Mark, because that statement is stupid. How will you not take age into consideration? Being left in the wilderness by age 4 and beat up by a green monster is a way different and more traumatizing experience than it happening at 17. You cannot ignore age. But yeah, that got me thinking. And it would be hard to go through each phase in their lives because we wouldn't consider how bad everything they lived through was in total. Kid Gohan had it obviously way worse than Kid Mark. Early teen Gohan probably also had it worse than Mark too. But after the Cell Saga, Gohan's life became pretty sweet. Sure, not perfect, but nothing that would break him, because he could always hope to fix it all with the Dragon Balls. And he never had to really doubt that he couldn't win eventually, since his potential was glazed since day one. And also he never really had the weight of the world on his shoulders. There was always dead or alive Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo and the Fusion Kids. But Mark, after he got his powers, his life pretty much went to shit. Late teen to early adult Mark compared to Gohan, well, that's not even a debate. And also I think like age, we cannot ignore comic content, of course. The problems in this debate are age and how damaged they appear after they experience their trauma. I mean, Mark seems to be seriously impacted by what happened to him, but Gohan never really did after a while. Maybe Saiyans got brains that process trauma better, I don't know. So if you consider damage done to one's characters and psyche, Mark also seems to take the lead. But is it that easy? Gohan isn't traumatized, so he's good? So I thought maybe pros and cons would work. And let's not center ourselves while we judge. Like with Mark, would you rather have your son, not you, your son, have a dream childhood with Superman as his father, but once he's about to become an adult, have him beat up to a pulp by his father, live in fear that he will lose everybody who he loves, realize that his father moved on and had another kid, then beat up again, and told to take over his plan, take and help raise his half-brother, but he has a half-brother, then be beat up again, go through a bunch of trouble as a hero, have the whole world distrust him because people from another dimension came to kill the people that he loves and destroy the world, get beat up again, and then get beat up so bad that he seems to have severe PTSD. Then later BS8, not know that he fathered the child, almost lose everybody he loves a couple times more, lose his dad, lose his brother, have missed 5 years of his daughter's life because a space-time entity kidnapped him, and have the weight of the galaxy on his shoulder after he held the weight of the world on his shoulders since he was like 17. But to be fair, his life after Thrak's death seemed pretty okay, if you ignore that his mom had to die eventually at one point. And he did live a life of luxury as an emperor. I didn't read the Invincible comic, that's just what I picked up from TikTok and YouTube shorts. Now to Gohan. Or would you rather have your son be kidnapped at 4, be left in the woods for almost half a year, be beat up by a green monster the other half of the year, although he trusts and loves the green monster later, to be fair, fight for his life at 5, watch his teacher and a couple of his dad's friends die and sacrifice themselves in front of him, have a near-death experience because he had to fight for his life at 5 years old, go to space to save his and his father's friend. He did volunteer though, have his neck broken, see his dad's other friend die in front of him, see his teacher almost die in front of him again. Jesus, are we still at 5 to 10 year old on Namek? But it's somewhat okay because there were always some magic orbs that might solve everything. But after space, have trained to save the world again from like 7 to 10 years old, defeat a monster and become a hero although he had to fight for his life again at 12, lose his dad for what seems like forever, and after that have a pretty good life for 7 years with his little brother who adores him. He does have to fight one monster again, but doesn't even win, so who cares? And after that he marries rich, has a beautiful family and studies bugs and shit. Yeah, after I made that list I changed my opinion. Gohan had a bad childhood, but Mark has a shit and very long life, where he never seems to really know peace, which is why I changed my mind. Mark had it worse than Gohan. Even though Gohan had it tough as a child, but there were also huge other factors in my change of mind, like the comfort that the Dragon Balls give Gohan and Gohan's lack of permanent trauma. So yeah, for me Mark wins. But I would rank future Gohan higher than Mark. Future Gohan never had a good time in his life, except maybe those first 4 years of his life and the time between Goku's return from Yard Rat and Goku's death. What do you think though? Did Mark suffer more than future Gohan, or did Gohan suffer more than Mark? Let me know in the comments, and like, subscribe if you haven't already. I will upload more videos from now on. Bye.